Hello, hello, hello. Good morning. Happy Monday, everyone. It seems like we're just doing this yesterday. It's a Monday. Hey, Patrick. Hello. Good morning, Renzo Fall. Good morning, Davey. Hello, George. Time to bounce. Looking that way. Good morning, Gary. Hey, hey, Waka Waka. Pound got pounded and rebounded. Pound futures halted last night. Now a big snapback rally. It looks like we might have a short-term top in the dollar and at least a short-term bottom in the pound and euro. We'll take a look at that. This morning will be a breakout trade in the financial markets, mainly the stocks. Notes have a potential double bottom. Good morning, Options 22. Good morning, Jake. Good morning, Legion Reaver. Thank you for the thanks. I'm glad you are here. All right. Let's get right down to it. Chicago Fed National Activity Index came at zero. Contraction from previous, still right at that zero mark. So not in contraction, but down from the previous we got. Multiple Fed speaks today, three of them to be exact. We have the Dallas Fed Manufacturing Index minor tomorrow. Everything's gonna be trumped by macro price action today. Where do we sit? Good morning, Sterling. Hey, thank you, Ramsafal. Thank you for the super chat and supporting the channel. Everybody, big shout out to Ramsafal for supporting the channel. Thank you. By the way, if you missed Sunday's market overview and you want to learn more about how to draw harmonics, even though the market information is a little stale, the harmonic information is not. Please check that out. S&P was a little red earlier, now back to mixed. Starting to look like we're firming up going into the open. I'll tell you what I'm looking for. Still 70% for the 75 basis point. Still deep in negative gamma territory, so you can get the volatility pushes both ways. Also extreme fear in the markets, which is once it's down in here, we start at least looking for a short-term bottom. No earnings today, so that's something we don't need to be concerned at. Here you see, let me just get to some things. Give the big shout out to Dave, aka Rams of Fall. Everybody acknowledge him. Show Dave the love. Again, thank you. Everybody gets acknowledged here. So we have an inside. Actually, given the currency volatility last night, we had some volatility in here, but it's a pretty narrow range. You see the back and forth. Key things, we start breaking down below about 36.72. Gonna watch for the retest. I have the reverse harmonics on here because if we break to the lows, I'll especially be watching this 36.45 area and then 36.42, and then the other major areas stay the same. As we reviewed yesterday, to the upside, early warning right around a 37.11, 37.12. Remember, we are into a clear path move. No, this is not a double. If you have is this a 4-hour double? Go to the 1 hour. No. So you can't trade it, but you can trade into the clear path. I talked about this yesterday. So the clear path, the breakdown zone is not till 37.33. Which is one of the first major targets. The minor target would be right here at the 50% where we got the pausing bar on the 4-hour, about 37.21. Above there, 37.37. And then I'm looking right around this 37.73, 37.70 to 37.73. So that's it for me. I'm going to be keeping a very close eye on the dollar today. Dollar index, especially, this is very topping. If we do start, especially breaking below 112.66, if we start breaking below that this morning, I will watch for a more continued rally. If you're trying to gauge it with the VIX, breaking below about 31. That's my key level. So we could retrace. But I'll get into more bottoming bullish mode. We get below 31. Here, just jumping around a little, but the 4 hours, I'm going to keep an eye on this. We have a little 4 hour potential double bottom. You need a trade above 112.30 to confirm it. And this would only be on a close, at least a 1 hour close, preferably a 4 hour close above that level to target 113.16.5, 113.26, 114.03. Although I'd really be focused on the first two targets for reward to risk ratio. Everything's going to be watching the Sunday night highs and lows. The keys lows are still going to be, you start breaking below that, keep in mind the Friday lows. On the NASDAQ, again, clear path move once you start getting above about 11,400 into that area. So that's the first area I'll be watching. 11,387, 11,389 minor. The 50% level from Friday's bar retraces 11,414. You break above there, you are clearly in the clear path. The breakdown zone is 11,529. I'm watching 11,507 to 11,529 on a rally back up. Now remember, I'm not going to cover this for every market, but we are at cycle bottoms on the daily and the weekly. If we break down, again, so I am watching for a bottoming pattern. Talked yesterday, we are potentially set up if we do break down with momentum for a capitulation move, but it's looking less and less with this stabilizing price action. My minor level would be 11,184. Then I'd be targeting about 11,067 to 1100, then 1109, so 11,000. The Dow, I don't need to review all these this morning. You pretty much got the idea. Dow above about 29. You can go 29.7 into the clear path, pausing area. 29,870, then breakdown zone 30,100. My major level for the Dow is 29,064. Russell is going to be a break if we get a substantial rally on about 1687 into the clear path move to the upside. If you want your minor levels, just again do your reverse harmonics at 1654, and then it would be down to 1640. I already went through the notes. If we do, this is another great area when you have this potential double to use your harmonics. Should we try to retest this area? Now, remember, if we get a clear rotation back down, turns into a triple, that is off. But if we do break below Friday's lows, the main major level would be 111.16. Well, actually, my minor level, the major level, we sort of have a gap. That's too far down, so I'll really be focused on 111.16 and then using short-term harmonics. Already talked about the dollar index and the VIX. Crude, by the way, coming down, hitting that first full target on that weekly double. And right at that harmonic level, I'm watching for some stabilization there. If we do break above today's high already established, about 79.97, so breaking above 80, key return would be about 81.20 for a scalping trade to 81.70 with the declining rotation zone. Cycle's also at the bottom on the daily for that. I'm not going to go through everything. Let's see where else. What is this? Black Friday sales by Tesla. Well, there's a good translation to go to Tesla. Tesla looks like, I mean, we're right above this 87.5. I think it went down there pre-market. Remember, we start getting into more bearish mode. We're essentially getting to this key support. If we do anything off the open, if the NASDAQ's strong, going to be watching for the quick gap fill play today. B, you start getting, especially back above about 277.75. You are into a clear path move even above 275.50. So you get that gap fill, you start going above 275.50, you're into a clear path move. And on a bigger rally, not just for today, remember we have a gap left behind. So that would be my upside targets overall, not just for today. That gap left behind, 288.49. The breakdown area is still 271.75, and then anywhere down to 265 is a key support zone. This is another great area right now to use your reverse harmonics should you break down. And next key major level is 260 and then 253.70. Spiders on the stabilization move going into the open will be gap fill, 367.92. That will be the first area, and you're still into some pretty decent resistance until about 368.70. Above 368.70, 370.60, and then it would be a gap fill play. Also remember, substantial breakdown zone pretty much at that gap fill, so I'd bring in my targets to about, and the full target is technically 374.23. I'd be bringing in my targets to the breakdown zone right in front of that 374 level. Personally, if it does break down, this is another great area to use your minor harmonics. Besides, you could use retracement harmonics on this up move, but if you break down, the major support would be at 362.06. So, I mean, the Qs are technically up, but the breakout area is about 276.24 on a rally. Above the rally, watch for Friday's highs, about 277.85 area. And then above there, you have the gap fill. The full gap fill would be to 280.07. I'd be watching right in front of that, actually, and then the breakdown zone is 279.45, so I definitely use a stop reduction at that level. And that's not just for today. It could take more than today to do that. Your key levels, should we roll over? Again, I just use the retracement harmonics down here, but other than that, major 271.09. Good morning, Josh. Good morning, Anissa. Hello, Lauren. Why are ES futures and SPY so far off? I mean, they're not that far off. The SPY's showing a little more weakness in here. I'd key off the futures. This should be rectified on the open with some arbitrage. SPY's a little weaker. It's a SPY down. I'll have to add that to my watch list. Don't have an answer why it's slightly weaker. Oh boy, DKNG. I mean, just overall, No, you just got a clear path move. There's not a strong bottoming signal in here. But you start getting above about 50. You're above there. So if the gap holds, I'd just be watching for the trade to the breakdown zone about 1550 for the first thing. That'd be about it. 1550 for my first target. And that's also the key pretty major breakdown area. And with cycles at the bottom, if we do get a little stronger move on, you have some clear path move. You could see a little bigger retracement, but there's no fantastic play there except for against got some support down here trading against, but that's not something I'd be looking at first thing. So, got to keep this a little shorter today. Again, it's going to be the overnight key price actions. The highs and lows areas are going to be key. Just don't forget you have the clear path move to the upside. And as I talked about yesterday, you can still use your single bar harmonics. So start watching, because these harmonics are on here from Friday's high and low, which still are with this inside price action overnight are still key. So I will be still watching for a potential rollover between 37.21 to 37.37, but you start getting at least a 1 hour close above 37.37, we could be establishing at least a short-term bottom, and I will then be targeting a return to the daily rotation zone. All right, I'm going to wrap it up for now. Unless we have something major happens, I'll just be back after the close for a recap. With that, keep an eye again. Even if you don't normally watch it, do watch the dollar index, because we start breaking below these established lows, 112.66, 112.65. We start getting a pullback, especially with the reversal in the pound. That could be a little strength for stocks. You see here the pound. This was a major flush out move. No, this might not be a long-term bottom just yet, but I'm watching for to see this recounts. If you're watching the pound, by the way, use your harmonics as already established, and the pound, you don't want to see if this is putting in. You don't want to see the low back below about 105.70, because then we could see a retest. So overall, that's how you can utilize that. You're welcome, Gary. I will talk to everyone later today. Have a fantastic trading day. Bye for now.